Hi everyone, it's me, Amari Jasz, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about when do you stop taking advice and start trusting yourself. If you're interested, keep watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and stick around for more. The difference between wisdom versus seeking validation. Wisdom is just advice that somebody gives you from their own personal experience, and they're really trying to help you and prevent you from going through the same things that they went through. Versus seeking validation, I feel like, is always having to get permission from somebody else to do whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's an outfit or a trip or just anything that you want to do. Always having to get the okay from somebody else before you move forward with it. Understanding that too much advice can cloud your inner voice. Very true. That's the thing I noticed for myself. When I had a lot of people in my life, I would always go to 3 different people before I made a decision. Before I took a job, before I decided if I was going to do this or do that, I just always went through multiple different people. And even now, I'm noticing that I'm having a crutch with ChatGPT, always having to get ChatGPT's advice and what they think and if I should do it or not. But at the end of the day, that's just, an AI app. I'm the one living my life. They are going off whatever programming was programmed into them to make them tell them that this is a good thing for me, but I am living it. I am going to be the one going through it, and I have to see what is the best option for me, regardless of going through ChatGPT or going through a friend or a cousin or whoever. I think you should be able to trust your own judgment, because whatever choice that you make, you're going to be the ones having to deal with the consequences, good or bad. Recognizing when advice isn't helping. You feel overwhelmed, not empowered after talking to people. Very true. A lot of people that I notice, you could tell them you have a great idea, oh, I want to start a business, or oh, I want to buy a new car, or oh, I really want to move out, or oh, I'm thinking about going back to school, and they'll just have every reason why you shouldn't go back to school. Oh, I just saw back that school is closing everywhere, and they not, it's always something negative, Nancy. And if you notice that after you talk to a specific person, that they always have something negative to say or something nasty to say, or they're never really encouraging, then just stop talking to them about what you got going on. You constantly second guess your instincts even when you know what feels right. Yes. Now I move through my life trusting my instincts, because 9 times out of 10 they're right. Every single time I would say, you know what, I'm gonna just let this slide, or even though every single thing is pointing to this direction, I'm gonna just go this way anyways, because you never know, just second guessing and not trusting that you know what's best for yourself. When you do, you are the owner and driver and operator of your own boat. Nobody else can get inside of your body, get inside of your whatever, and tell you how you should live, how you should operate, nobody knows what's better for you than you, to be honest. So don't let outside noise or other people, or just not wanting to seem like you're doing too much, prevent you from just trusting your gut. You don't need to have a reason to say no. If deep inside you don't feel like doing it, you don't got to do it. No is a complete sentence. You constantly second guess you're waiting to be told instead of taking initiative. Yes, waiting to be told instead of taking initiative. Throughout life, here and there, you'll hear people say, you know what, girl, go ahead and do that. That's a good idea. I definitely think you should do that. Or somebody else will say, you know what, girl, you're really good at drawing. You should really pursue this. Or you're really good at cooking. You should really pursue that. But, no matter how many times people encourage you to do something, it takes you taking the initiative to make that come into fruition. You have to see the value in yourself. There's so many girls, just in general, that I be seeing, on Instagram, social media, TikTok, and I be like, oh wow, this girl could literally be a model, or this person who, this girl, when I was at my job, she was really into music, and the music that she played was always just so unique and interesting, and just, you could tell she had a really good taste in music. And when sometimes I'll be like, you should pursue music, or you should pursue DJing, and some people are like, oh yeah. A lot of people aren't able to see the gifts that they have and act on it. We all have gifts, and a lot of times we already know what the gifts is. It just takes us accepting it, acknowledging it, and sharpening it and living in it. Okay, advice is conflicting. Advice is conflicting and leaves you confused, not clear. Yes. Yes. Because a lot of people aren't even decisive. Like, a lot of people, they'll say, I mean, you should do this, but, you know, what about this and this and that? I mean, if you go this way, then you may have to do this and this and this. But if you go this way, you may only have to do this, but you still got to remember about this. They're not really helpful. So it just ties back in again. No matter what, it's going to be something that come with it. If you go to a cheaper route, yes, it's cheaper, but it's going to be poor quality. If you go to expensive route, it's expensive, but it's going to be longer quality. And that's when it comes down to your values and the things that are important to you. That's when they come into play. Versus then trying to lean wholeheartedly on people who they can't even make a decision about their own life, let alone try to dictate or, you know, steer you in a way that makes sense for you. They don't know. Learning to filter advice. Who's giving it? Do they live the life you want or understand your vision? This, though, I'm a little bit, because I know a lot of people say, you know, don't take advice from people that, you know, you don't want to live in their life or you want to swap places with. And I understand, you know, what they're trying to say. But sometimes, you know, with me, when I was growing up, a lot of the things that I learned was what not to do, you know. So, yeah, they probably couldn't tell me how to build my credit or how to do this or how to do that or how to do this. But it showed me, don't do this. Don't do this. If you do this, 9 times out of 10, this is going to be, you know, what's going to happen afterwards. So I think you can take advice from people, but that's when discernment just comes into play. Knowing when, you know, they're talking outside their head, or knowing, you know, when they're actually giving you something that you can reconsider. And sometimes just look at how they're living. Just look at how they're living. Everything that they're doing is a reason why they're in a situation. So don't do any of that. I'm sorry, my hair is like so itchy. I don't know why. Okay, anyways. Okay. Is it rooted in fear, ego, or outdated mindset? Yes. So many people are old, and not old in, you know, their age. They're old in the way that they think. They do not know what is going on in the world. Some people are mentally living in the 80s. Some people are living in the Old Testament. Some people are living in the future. Some people are living in 1998. Some people are living in 1928. A lot of people and their values and their perspectives are dated as hell. And a lot of them really don't have the brain power to even think abstract or even think in a visionary kind of way to see something that hasn't been there yet. Or some people, if they only know you as, you know, the girl who do Uber and has a shitty boyfriend and wears shitty clothes, they can't really imagine anything better for you. They just can't. So those really can't be the people that you go to for advice or encouragement, because in their brain, the furthest they see you doing is where you at. So, yeah. Are you taking advice to avoid making a bold decision on your own? Yes. I've been in, sometimes in my life, I have always been that crutch from other people to push them or encourage them to, you know, make the for me, it would seem like, you know, the obvious good choice. But even if you encourage, like, girl, you know, go this way, this is the safest way, this is a guaranteed win, go this way. At the end of the day, one thing I noticed and one thing I've learned to let go is grown people are going to have to do and make the choices that they want to make. I cannot shove, and nor am I cannot shove something down somebody's throat. I can't throw them in the water. I can't push them. I can't do nothing. When they want to go, they will go. Until then, I'm not even going to waste 20 minutes convincing them to go and take this opportunity. If they can't see with their own eyes, they ain't ready. Anyways, why trusting yourself is a muscle. Self-trust builds through small decisions, not big leaps. Yes, I think everything in life, and I think even maybe the rules of life, is just time and consistency. Same thing when I think about credit. Credit is not, oh, I just paid off everything and now my credit is, nope. It's consistently doing something consistently over time. Same thing with working out. Everybody, I just want to work out 2 days and I'm gonna be slim. No, it took you 2 years or 5 years or 10 years to get to where you're in the state that you're in. It's going to take 10 years or the same time to reverse that. So same thing with building your trust. That's why you have to be careful with these self-help apps and these self-help people. Everyone's saying, just do this and just do that and do that and that. And then 2 weeks later, they're off of that because it's not built on anything real. If just consistently doing one thing, it becomes a pattern, it becomes a part of your routine, and it's going to be more lasting than just trying to jump into, all these recommendations of what people think you should be doing. You're allowed to be wrong. Learning comes from action, not theory. Exactly. You're allowed to make the wrong choices. That's how you eventually gain your own wisdom and gain your own knowledge, not from going off the mistakes and the lessons of somebody else's life. You live your own life. I've made a lot of mistakes. It took me going to, I had went to San Francisco to pursue fashion design, and a lot of people in my family, they were like, don't go, it's maybe not a good idea. How you gonna take care of this? How you gonna take care of that? And obviously, I'm young and super headstrong. I don't care. I really don't be caring what nothing nobody say. But I went ahead and went anyway, and I learned, do not go to any place if you don't have a boatload of savings. Do not go to any place, even if you have a job, make sure that job is enough to support you. And make sure you always have an escape plan. That was my lesson. But I learned that from my own mistakes. So now when I'm making my own choice and say I want to move to Paris or move to London, I don't need to go and ask 50 of my friends who've never been to London or Paris or never traveled or never left the house if that's a good idea. I can just lean back on my last experience and decide if I want to, move forward with that or not from there. The people who admire you most didn't wait for a green light. The people you admire the most didn't wait for a green light. They moved on gut and purpose. Extremely true. Because at the end of the day, nobody, I feel like, should want it more than you, whatever it is. Nobody should want you to be more successful than you. Nobody should want you to achieve your dreams more than you. You have to want it. And that's the reason why certain people excel and others just stay at the same spot, not because they're more talented. You can have the most talented in the world. You could be the most talented, you could be the most intelligent, you could be the most politically correct and all that, but if you don't want it in your bones, if you ain't finna go after it and get it nonstop consistently, it's never, ever, ever going to be yours. It is gonna sit there, wasted potential, like everybody else. So that was my take on when should you stop taking advice and start trusting your gut. Thank you all so much for watching my live session. I can't wait to see you on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Goodbye.